Someone new is about to enter your life this weekend, and the moon already knows their intentions before you do. If you are a chosen one, do not ignore this warning. The sky is sending a warning. There are moments in the sky when the universe stops whispering and starts speaking directly to you. This weekend, July 11th into July 12th, is one of those moments. Right now, the moon has moved into Gemini, and it is standing face to face with Mars. This is not a soft pairing. This is a collision of feeling and action, a moment when your emotions move faster than your thoughts can catch them. If you have felt a strange restlessness in your chest the last day or two, a pull to react before you think, to answer a message before you've even read it twice, that is not random. That is the moon and Mars, together in the sign of the twins, stirring something inside you that wants to move now. But here is what makes this weekend different from every other moon-Mars pairing you've lived through. As the moon meets Mars, it is also brushing against Uranus, the planet of shock, sudden shifts, and hidden reveals. When the moon touches Uranus, the universe does something very specific. It exposes what was hidden. People who have been wearing a mask around you start to slip. Situations that seem stable start to wobble. And most importantly, new people who enter your orbit during this window are not always who they appear to be in the first 5 minutes. This is why the warning matters. Chosen ones, the moon is not telling you to be paranoid. It is telling you to be present. There is a difference between fear and discernment. And this weekend, your soul is being asked to remember which one it's using. Think about the last time you met someone and your gut said, wait, but your mind, eager for connection, talked you out of it. That quiet hesitation is not weakness. It is your spirit's oldest form of protection, older than logic, older than language. And under this Moon-Uranus contact, that instinct is louder than it has been in weeks. The ancients believed the moon governed the tides of the unseen world, the emotional undercurrent beneath every conversation, every handshake, every nice to meet you. When Mars joins that tide, words move fast, and impulsive trust can be offered before your spirit has finished reading the room. That is the test. Not whether someone new is dangerous, whether you will pause long enough to actually feel who they are, before you hand them a piece of your energy you cannot easily take back. This weekend is not asking you to close your heart. It is asking you to open your eyes first. Why your energy feels so exposed. Right now, if you've noticed you feel unusually raw, unusually easy to read, or strangely transparent to the people around you, that sensitivity is real, and it has a source. The moon in Gemini rules communication, and right now, it is also receiving a soft, supportive current from both Neptune and Pluto. This is a rare and quiet gift, hidden inside a turbulent weekend. Neptune governs illusion, intuition, and the veil between what is spoken and what is true. Pluto governs what lies buried, the motives underneath the surface, the things people don't say out loud. When the moon forms a harmonious link to both of these planets at once, something remarkable happens. Your intuition becomes a truth detector. You start hearing not just words, but the space between them. The hesitation before someone answers a question. The slight shift in tone when a story doesn't quite add up. This is why so many chosen ones have been reporting strange dreams, sudden gut feelings, or moments of knowing something about a person before any proof exists. That is not your imagination working overtime. That is Neptune's veil thinning at exactly the right moment, showing you what is usually hidden from ordinary sight. But there's a shadow side to this heightened sensitivity, and it's important you understand it clearly. When your intuition sharpens this much, so does your emotional exposure. You may find yourself oversharing with someone you barely know, drawn into a false sense of closeness because Mars is making everything feel urgent and immediate. Gemini energy loves connection, loves conversation, loves the electricity of something new. And this weekend, that electricity is turned all the way up. This is precisely why new people carry more weight right now than they normally would. A stranger's words can land in your chest like they've known you for years. A new voice in your life can feel like fate, when really, it may simply be the moon amplifying every signal at once, true and false alike. The waning crescent phase adds one more layer to this. This is the part of the lunar cycle devoted to release, to closing loops, letting go of what no longer serves you, and clearing space before the new moon arrives. If a new person enters your life right now with an agenda that doesn't align with your growth, this phase will not let it stay hidden for long. The moon is actively clearing the fog, even while it feels like there's more fog than ever. Your task this weekend is not to shut down your sensitivity. It's to use it correctly, to notice the flood of feeling without immediately acting on it. Feel everything. Trust nothing blindly. That is the balance the sky is asking of you. Chosen ones, there is a pattern in this transit that repeats throughout history, throughout every myth and every teaching about testing the spirit before transformation. Before every major turning point in a soul's journey, something or someone arrives to test whether that soul has learned the lessons of its past. This is what's happening under the Moon-Mars-Uranus configuration this weekend. It is not punishment, it is preparation. The universe does not send trials to hurt you. It sends them to reveal what you're ready for. If you have been asking for growth, for a new chapter, for a relationship or opportunity that finally matches your worth, this weekend may bring the first appearance of exactly that. But first, it will be tested. Think of it like a door with two locks. The first lock is desire, wanting something new badly enough to say yes. The second lock is discernment, recognizing whether this new thing is actually aligned with your path, or simply dressed up to look that way. Mars energy makes the first lock easy to open, almost too easy. It fuels impulsive yeses, quick attachments, immediate trust. But the second lock, discernment, requires stillness, and stillness is hard to find when Mars is pulsing through a talkative Gemini moon. This is why the ancient astrologers warned about mercurial deception during Gemini lunar transits touched by Mars and Uranus. Gemini rules words, ideas, and first impressions. And when action-oriented Mars joins that quick-moving energy, first impressions can be manufactured. A person can present exactly the version of themselves they know you're looking for, whether or not it's true. If you've been manifesting a shift, new love, new opportunity, new friendship, new direction, do not be surprised if this weekend delivers a preview. But remember, previews are not the full story. What looks perfect in the first conversation must still be watched as it unfolds across days, not hours. There is also a spiritual mirror at play here. Often the people who test us the most in these windows are reflecting something we haven't fully healed. If someone new triggers an old wound, abandonment, betrayal, the fear of being fooled again, that reaction is data. It's not proof the person is dangerous. It's proof that your soul still remembers what it felt like before, and it is asking you to protect that tender place a little more carefully this time. The universe is not against you meeting someone new this weekend. It is against you meeting them unconsciously. There is a profound difference between closing your heart and simply keeping your eyes open while it stays soft. That is the exact balance this moon is asking every chosen one to practice. Signs your spirit is being tested. How do you know if this is happening to you right now? The signs are subtle but consistent, and if you felt even one of these in the last 24 to 48 hours, consider this confirmation that the sky is speaking directly to your situation. The first sign is a sudden, unexplained urgency. You meet someone or reconnect with someone, and there's a pull to move fast, to text back instantly, to make plans immediately, to skip the slow build that trust usually requires. That urgency is Mars, not necessarily fate. Fate rarely rushes. Ego and impulse do. The second sign is a flattering mirror. Under this transit, people who want something from you, attention, energy, validation, often know exactly what to say to make you feel seen. They may echo your values back to you almost too perfectly. This isn't always malicious, but it is worth noticing. Real connection unfolds slowly and reveals contradictions over time. A performance stays suspiciously smooth. The third sign is a strange physical tension. Tightness in your stomach, a subtle unease in your chest, even while your mind is telling you everything is fine. This is Pluto's undercurrent working through your body. Pluto doesn't speak in words, it speaks in sensation. If your gut disagrees with your excitement, that gap matters. The fourth sign is déjà vu around dynamics you've lived before. If a new person's behavior echoes an old pattern, someone who once took more than they gave, someone who disappeared once the initial spark faded, your spirit may be flashing a warning through memory. Old patterns resurface under Uranus, not to torment you, but to make sure you don't sleepwalk into the same lesson twice. The fifth and final sign is exhaustion after interaction. Genuine soul-aligned connections tend to leave you feeling more like yourself, even after emotionally deep conversations. If someone new consistently leaves you feeling drained, smaller, or unsure of your own instincts, that is not a coincidence during this transit. That is confirmation. None of these signs mean you should panic or shut people out. They mean you should watch, wait, and let time do what impulsive Mars energy cannot. Reveal the truth slowly, consistently, without pressure. Chosen ones. This is what spiritual maturity looks like. Not suspicion of everyone, but devotion to your own inner compass, especially when the sky is stirring the waters around you. The moon does not test your spirit to make you afraid of new beginnings. It tests you to make sure that when the real one arrives, you're finally ready to recognize them. Clearly, calmly, and without confusion. How to protect your energy through July 12th. Now that you understand what's happening in the sky, here is how to move through it with your spirit intact and your discernment sharp. First, slow every new interaction down on purpose. If someone new appears this weekend, there is no cosmic rule that says you must respond at the speed they're pushing for. Let a message sit for an hour before replying. Let an invitation wait a day before you commit. Mars wants urgency. Your higher self does not need to obey it. Speed is the enemy of discernment right now, and reclaiming your own pace is the simplest form of protection available to you. Second, ground yourself before any important conversation. A few slow breaths, both feet on the floor, one hand over your heart. This simple act interrupts the impulsive Mars reaction and reconnects you to the steadier, wiser Neptune-Pluto current running underneath. When you feel grounded, you stop reacting to people and start actually perceiving them. Third, pay attention to consistency, not charisma. Charm is easy to manufacture under a talkative Gemini moon. Consistency is not. If someone new says all the right things, but their actions don't match within a few days, trust the actions. The sky is not asking you to become cold. It is asking you to stop mistaking eloquence for integrity. Fourth, protect your personal information and your vulnerable stories a little more carefully this weekend. The Moon-Mars conjunction can create a false sense of closeness fast. It is completely acceptable to hold something back until trust has actually been earned over time, not simply felt in a single intense conversation. Fifth, if your intuition already told you something and you brushed it aside, return to that first instinct. Whatever your gut said in that very first moment, before your mind talked you out of it, that was Neptune and Pluto speaking clearly before Mars had the chance to blur the signal. Go back to that. It was accurate. And finally, trust that this window will pass. By the time the moon moves beyond Gemini and this Mars-Uranus charge settles, clarity will return on its own. If someone truly belongs in your life, they will still be there once the fog lifts, steady, unhurried, and just as real in the calm as they were in the storm. If they disappear the moment you stop rushing, that disappearance is your answer. This weekend is not about fear, chosen ones. It is about remembering that your spirit already knows what it's protecting. And this moon is simply asking you to listen to it one more time before July 12th closes this chapter. If this message found you today, it did not find you by accident. The universe placed you here, in front of this video, at the exact moment your spirit needed to hear it. So before you go, take one breath and ask yourself, who is testing me right now, and am I truly seeing them clearly? If this resonated with you, tell me in the comments. Has someone new already appeared in your life this weekend? I read every single one, and this channel exists because of chosen ones just like you, showing up, awakening, and choosing awareness over illusion. Make sure you are subscribed with your notifications turned on, because the next 48 hours carry more shifts than most people will ever notice, and I don't want you to miss a single sign meant for you. Hit that like button if you feel this message in your bones. Share it with someone who needs to slow down before they trust too fast, and I will see you in the next video. Until then, stay awake, stay discerning, and remember, the moon always tells the truth before people do.